Hi, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Erica and I'm a yoga, mindfulness, and anxiety coach. And today we're going to be practicing a slow flow sequence. So when you're really stressed out, when you're extremely busy, your life is feeling really like full, it usually feels like the best thing to do is a really quick, intense workout to bust the stress and get it all out. But what is happening in your body a lot of the times when you're feeling anxious, overwhelmed, overworked, is that your body may be in a state of fight or flight. And what that means is that your adrenaline levels are really high, your cortisol levels are really high, and doing an intense workout might just aggravate your nervous system further. So what is really good to practice is slowing down. Because when you slow down, when you're in a state of stress, your body has a chance to go from being in a state of flight to activating your parasympathetic nervous system and releasing all the good hormones that bring your body back into balance, that allow you to de-stress and calm down. So a slow flow does just that, because you have to slow down. You have to keep your body in a state of calm through your breathing. And by the end of it, it's incredible what it does for you. So if you enjoy this video, I'd love it if you could subscribe to my channel. It not only helps me, but it will help you to not miss any videos that I post. All right, so let's begin. We're going to start actually with our hands on our knees in a cross-legged position. You can sit on a pillow or on a block to raise your hips above your knees. And let's just take a deep breath in, shrug our shoulders up to our ears, and sigh it out. And again, deep breath in, sigh it out, and then very gently close your eyes. And just take a few moments to find your breath. As you inhale, feel your lungs opening up. And as you exhale, feel your body completely relaxing and letting go. And if your mind is busy, try not to get frustrated by this. Try not to resist your thoughts. Just allow them to come in. Allow them to happen. Be aware of what's on your mind. And then very gently take your awareness back to your inhalation and your exhalation. And continue to do that throughout your practice, especially if you are feeling extremely stressed out and overwhelmed at the moment. Just keep allowing the thoughts to do what they must, and then bring your awareness back to your breathing. And take one more deep breath in and sigh it out. And very gently blink your eyes open. We're just going to do a few movements to connect the breath to the movement, to the body. So taking a deep breath in, you're going to arch your back gently and hinge forward. And then as you breathe out, curl your spine and come off your sit bones. And keep rocking backwards and forwards. And then start to really connect the breath to the movement. So breathing in, coming forward. Breathing out, rocking backwards. And close your eyes and try to just feel into the movement. And really connect with your breath. Focus on your inhalation and your exhalation, really filling the movement. And try and slow it down. Try and really expand the movements and the breath. And just doing one more full round backwards and forwards. And then coming to a neutral spine, you're going to start to rotate your torso, feeling like your spine is a spoon and your pelvis is a bowl, and you're stirring the bowl. And try to make this as comfortable as possible, so you can make this movement as big or as small as you would like. You can release your head if that feels good for you, or you can make it a small movement. But try to once again connect the breath to the movement. So breathing in, coming round, breathing out to the back. Then close your eyes and feel the movement. Really fill the movement with your breath. And then slowly starting to change directions. Focusing on your breathing. And just doing one more round. Coming to a neutral spine once again. Lifting up in your spine, lengthening it, and then taking your hands to your sides, taking a deep breath in, and gently hinging over to the side, taking your bottom arm down to the mat, and looking up towards your hand if that's available to you. If that strains your neck, you can just keep looking straight, or you can look down at your hand. And then think of drawing your opposite hip down into the ground and take a few deep breaths. Taking one more deep breath in. As you breathe out, take your top hand down and walk both your hands to the center line. And just allow your head to drop down. It might not go very far, and that's okay. You might be over here. The most important thing is to release your head completely and relax your shoulders. Try to really release the tension out of your shoulders by breathing deeply and relaxing your muscles as you exhale. If you are more limbered, you can walk your hands out in front of you a little bit further to get more of a stretch down your spine. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to walk your hands over to the opposite side. Take your bottom hand down to the mat and extend your top arm over your ear. And then looking up towards either the ceiling, or if that strains your neck, looking forward or down at your bottom hand. And then thinking of really drawing that opposite hip down onto the mat. And big breaths in and out. And taking one more deep breath in, releasing your arms down once again to the ground, walking them all the way forwards, releasing your head for a moment. And then as you breathe in, gently walking your hands back while unfurling the spine. We're just going to do a little dynamic twist. So breathing in, bring your arms up to touch. As you breathe out, twisting over to the side, taking your opposite hand to the outside of your thigh. Take a deep breath in and come up, bringing your fingers to touch, and breathing out, open to the opposite side. Your back hand is just opening out. And then let's carry on in a dynamic movement. Breathing in and breathing out, release. And then same thing, close your eyes. Feel the movement filling your breath. And feel how when you connect the breath to the movement, you really become so much more mindful. And you really bring yourself to the present moment. And just doing one more round, both sides. And then coming all the way up, touching your palms together, really stretching up into the spine, lifting your shoulders up towards your ears. And then releasing them down and coming onto all fours. So when you're in your all fours position, your wrists are directly underneath your knees. Your wrists are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are directly underneath your hips. And taking a deep breath in, we're going to swing our right arm up towards the sky, breathing out as if you're going into a thread the needle, so your right hand underneath your left. But then we're going to make it dynamic. So we're going to breathe in, extend it up. Breathe out, release it down. Once again, connect the breath to the movement. And just doing it one more time. And then coming to release your hand down and thread the needle. Taking your left arm out in front of you. And breathing deeply. If you want to take your left arm behind your back, you can do so. Then you just turn your left palm away from you and wrap your left hand around your back and possibly find your right thigh. So choose whichever one works for you today. And one more deep breath in and out. And as you breathe in, taking your left hand by your face, using it to push you back up. And walking your hands about a foot forward. And releasing your hands down, releasing your chest down, keeping your hips up in the air. And placing either your forehead or your chin down on the mat in your puppy pose. Taking a few deep breaths. And on your next inhalation, gently coming up by walking your hands backwards into your tabletop position and then into that dynamic thread the needle. So breathing in, lifting your left arm up, breathing out, threading it under your right hand, bringing your left ear to the ground. And again, breathing in, extending up, breathing out, releasing down, and just doing it a few more times. And one more time. And then coming down into your thread the needle and extending your right arm in front of you, or taking that right hand behind your back and possibly finding that thigh to hold on to. Just choosing which one feels good for you and taking a few deep breaths. Take one more deep breath in and out. And on your next inhalation, taking your right hand next to your face and pushing yourself up. And then coming back to your tabletop position. As you breathe in, you're going to stretch out your right leg. Give it a little bit of a stretch for a moment into that calf muscle. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to turn your right foot to place it flat on the ground. And you're going to be balancing on your left hand. And then we're going to gently rotate the right arm. Engage in your core muscles to keep you balanced. And just rotating in one direction. And then changing directions. And coming to bring your arm overhead. And either staying here, or if it's available to you, you can lift that right leg parallel to the ground. Take a few deep breaths in and out. And then releasing that right hand down, turn your right foot parallel so your toes are pointing down, keeping your knee up. Take a deep breath in and extend your left arm parallel to the mat, palm faces inwards. And just take a deep breath in here and out. And then into another dynamic movement, so bending your knee and your elbow into the midline. And then as you breathe in, extending your legs. And breathing out, bring it in. Breathe out, extend. Breathe out, come in. Breathe in, extend. And stretching out on your next one, just holding it for a moment. And then placing that left hand down on the mat and seeing if you can bring that right leg all the way around and place it on the mat in front of you in a low lunge. Just staying in your low lunge for a moment, opening up your chest. You may need to put blocks or books underneath your hands. And then taking a deep breath in as your pelvis works its way gently down. And then tucking in your toes, placing your hands stabilized on the mat, stretching into your front foot and gently releasing up into a crescent lunge. And holding it here for a few breaths. And then breathing out, taking your hands down to the mat, stepping back to a plank position, just holding it in your plank position for a moment. Really engaging in your core, drawing your heels backwards and pushing up and out of your wrists, trying to feel light as you do this movement. And breathing out, releasing your knees back down onto the mat. This time we're going to extend your left leg. So tuck your toes of your left foot to really stretch that calf muscle. And then on your next inhalation, you're going to place that left foot flat on the ground. So your toes are pointed to the sides. Now find your balance first by engaging in your core, and then start to rotate that left arm in one direction, making the movements mindful, filling them with your breath. And then changing directions. And just doing one more. And then bringing that arm overhead in line with your ear. And if that's enough for you, you can stay here. Or you can lift your left leg parallel to the ground, flexing into that toe. Deep breaths. One more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, take your left hand down to the mat. Turn your left toes parallel, keeping that left leg raised. And on your next inhalation, extending your right arm to shoulder level in line with your ear. Your palm is facing inward. And we're going to go into that dynamic movement. So breathing out, bend your elbow and your knee into the midline. Breathing in, extend. Breathe out. And breathing in, extend. Breathe out. Breathe in. Two more. And come to stretching both your arm and your leg. Hold it there. And then breathing out, taking your right hand down to the mat and trying to rotate that left leg all the way around to place your left foot on the mat, setting up for your low lunge. Take a deep breath in here, opening up your chest and gently drawing your pelvis down. Tucking in your toe of your right foot, you're going to stretch into that right leg. And on your next inhalation, bring yourself up to a crescent lunge. And take a few deep breaths. On your next exhalation, taking your hands down to the mat, stepping your left foot back to your plank position, holding in your plank for a moment, drawing your heels back, lifting up and out of your shoulder girdle. Breathing out, placing your knees flat on the mat, taking your heart forward and slowly releasing down to the floor. On your next inhalation, you're going to take your hands behind you, interlace them at your sacrum, extending your arms As you breathe in and lift your chest and your head off the mat in a baby cobra, breathe here for a few rounds. Try to aim to get your pinky toe towards the mat so that all your toes are on the mat. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, release down. Release your hands. Take them to the sides of your rib cage. Breathe in. Push back to tabletop. Tuck your toes and into Adho Mukha Svanasana, your downward facing dog. So pedaling your feet a few times. And then bending well into both your knees. Draw your chest towards your thighs. Take the weight away from your wrists and feel the energy moving down your legs. And if it's available to you, you can start stretching into your legs. But if you feel your back curling, when you do that, rather keep a bend in your knees. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. One more deep breath in. Sigh it out. And on your next inhalation, look forward, bend your knees well, and walk your feet up towards the top of your mat. Your feet are hip width apart. And just allow yourself to hang for a moment in your Uttanasana. If you'd like, you can make peace fingers with your hands and grab around your big toes. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bend your elbows and release your head. You can bend your knees and just take a few deep breaths in and out. This is a wonderful asana to relax the mind. And one more deep breath in and out, releasing your toes if you are holding around your toes. Take a deep breath in first to Ardha Uttanasana. So flattening your back, you can take your hands to either the tips of your fingers to the floor just in front of your feet, or you can take your hands to your shins. Either way, really draw your shoulder blades back along your spine and try to get your head in line with your spine. Keep your chest nice and open, so feel that feeling of openness, and then draw your belly button towards your spine to really flatten that back. Take a deep breath in here and out. And on your next inhalation, gently taking your arms all the way at your sides to touch, possibly a little bit back bend, and hands down at your heart center in Tadasana. You can have your feet together or slightly apart, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Take a deep breath in, extend your arms all the way up again, palms touch. As you breathe out, a very gentle swan dive, slowly all the way down. Release your head, Uttanasana. Breathe in a nice slow Ardha Uttanasana. Breathing out, hands flat on the mat. Step your right foot back, turn it out. Set yourself up for your Virabhadrasana number 2, Warrior 2. And windmill your arms all the way around. So, dynamic movement, reverse warrior, all the way down. You can either take your hand to the outside of your left leg, or if that's not available to you, you can also just take your hand to your thigh. And back into a reverse warrior. This reverse warrior, your knee stays bent. And then you can choose what feels better for you, if you want to take your hand down to the mat or if you want to keep it on your thigh. And just breathing into it. And one more time, coming to a reverse warrior, stretching your front leg. Take a deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bringing both your hands down to the mat. Turn your back foot, hop it in just a little bit. Turn it out, keep it turned out. Take a deep breath in, come to a flat back for a moment. And as you breathe out, gently release your head down. So you might need blocks here once again. Or you can take your hand to your shin just to help you to relax your head completely. Take one more deep breath in, side out. Leaving your right hand on the mat on the inside of your left foot. You're just gently going to stretch your left arm in front of you. And then release it back down. Turn your back foot, bend both your knees, step your right foot next to your left. Take a deep breath in, Ardha Uttanasana. Breathing out, Uttanasana. As you breathe in, gently taking your arms at either side, all the way up to touch and into Tadasana. Take a deep breath in and out. And breathing in, bring your arms all the way up to touch. Breathing out, gentle swan dive. Breathing in, Ardha Uttanasana. Then placing your hands flat on the mat, step your left foot back this time for your Virabhadrasana. 2 on the opposite side, windmilling your arms and into the dynamic movement. So keeping your front knee bent, reverse warrior, and either taking your right elbow to the thigh or down to the floor. And then keeping that movement going. Slow and mindful. And doing one more. Coming all the way back to your reverse warrior, this time stretching into your front leg. Taking a deep breath in and out. And one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, windmilling both your hands down to either side of your front foot. Hopping that back foot in slightly, keeping it turned out. Taking a moment to breathe in with a flat back. You might need to take your hands to your shins. And then as you breathe out, releasing down, either taking your hands to blocks, keeping them on your shins, or down to the floor. And a few deep breaths in and out. One more deep breath in, side out. Keeping your left hand on the inside of your right foot, you're going to take a moment either on the fingertips or on a block and extend your right arm in front of you, trying to get it in line with your right ear. Turn your palm in. Take a deep breath in here, feeling the length in this. And breathing out, releasing it back down. Turning your back foot, stepping it next to your right. Taking a deep breath into your Ardha Uttanasana. Breathing out, releasing all the way down in your Uttanasana. Breathing in, arms fly up at the sides, all the way up to touch, possibly a small back bend, and releasing down to Tadasana, hands in prayer. Take a deep breath in and out. Breathing in, your arms come all the way up to touch. Breathing out, swan dive slowly down. Breathing in, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. And then taking your feet almost as wide as the mat, turning your feet out to sit in your Malasana. So coming down into your Malasana, if you need to take a blanket, if your heels are raised, you can take a blanket, fold it, and put it underneath your heels. And then use your elbows to open up your knees. And just breathe deeply into this pose. What you're aiming to do is to get your back as flat as possible. So you're drawing your sacrum down to the ground as you're opening up your knees and you're opening up your chest. Take a deep breath in. Close your eyes as you breathe out. And just take a few moments here. If you'd like to really relax into this pose, I sometimes recommend sitting on a block. That really helps you to not have to worry so much about keeping the posture in place. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, gently release your head down, release your hands down to the mat, palms up. And just allow yourself to completely calm your mind. And then very gently releasing yourself down to the ground. Bringing both your knees into your chest, feet flat on the mat. You're going to stretch out your left leg, keeping your left foot flexed. Take your left hand around your right thigh. Take your right hand behind you and use it as a lever to straighten your back. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, look over your right shoulder or as close as possible. And take a few deep breaths in this twist. Twists are wonderful for detoxing the body, for digestive issues. Take one more deep breath in and out. Gently releasing. Swapping sides. Flexing into that right foot, taking your right arm around your left thigh. Take your left hand behind you, use it as a lever to straighten your back. And then breathing in, and as you breathe out, looking over that left shoulder or as close as possible. Deep breaths. Take one more deep breath in and out. And gently release the twist. We're going to finish off with a breathing exercise before your Shavasana. So find a comfortable seat. You can either sit in a cross-legged position on a block or on a pillow if that's more comfortable for you. You can also sit in Virasana, which is on your haunches, on a block if that feels better for you. Either way, make yourself comfortable. We're going to be practicing the square breath, where you're going to be breathing in for 4 counts, holding your breath for 4 counts, breathing out for 4 counts and holding your breath. So it's this square motion of the breath. So let's take a deep breath in, side out, and gently close your eyes and rest your hands either on your thighs or in your lap. Let's just take one deep breath in together and breathe it out through the nose. And let's begin. Breathing in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Last round. In. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Take a deep breath in and out. And very gently making your way down to the mat to lie back in Shavasana. So stretching out one leg at a time, allowing your feet to relaxedly fall out to the sides, quite wide apart. Your arms are either away from the body, turned palms up, or you can relax your hands somewhere on your body. Once you're there, tuck the back of your neck, tuck your chin so that you're lengthening the back of your neck. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out, and gently close your eyes. And just take the next minute or two to allow your practice to integrate, completely surrendering into this asana, allowing your muscles to become heavy on the mat, allowing your mind to completely relax. And gently begin to bring yourself back, bringing very slow movements to the fingers and toes, softly rubbing your fingertips together, deepening your breath. And without disturbing your peace, bending one knee in at a time, rolling over onto your most comfortable side, and using your hand to help you up, finding a comfortable seated position, taking your hands to your heart in a prayer position, bowing the head down to the heart. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we know the beauty of our own true nature. May we be healed, and may we be a source of healing in this world. Namaste.